What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Knights of the Coffee Table. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today, and I think it's for a good reason, because Donald Trump, the President of the United States, somebody a lot of us gaming meme lords supported, and have supported for every dumb thing that came out of his mouth, decided that he was going to attack video games, amongst other things. But anyway, I'm here with Sid Rise, Stone Monkey. And then we also have joining us tonight Ryan himself and everybody's favorite silverback gorilla, Tom Pinoid. How you guys doing?
What up? What up? What up, my fucking fam? How the fuck you doing, man? It's goddamn depressing day for me today, man.
That sucks, man.
Yeah,
I'm personally, I'm doing fantastic. But what's going on with you, man?
It might be time for me. Yeah, it might be time for me to leave the internet, my friend.
What?
Mm-hmm. It might be that time.
Damn, brother.
Well, man, fucking, it's kind of on that level where it's, well, we're gonna get into it. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, the president that we all elected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He has decided to go to war with us.
Yeah. You know what? I think first and foremost,
I haven't heard about this, so I'm not really sure what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're gonna see.
First and foremost, you want to make sure that you have the stream up so that you can watch this, even though you're going to be a little bit behind. This is Trump's remarks and his plan going forward after this weekend's mass shootings.
Yo, wait, Excel, I need you to put the right one in here, dude. This is not the right speech that you have from Donald Trump.
Are you
I'm gonna send you. Yes, I'm gonna send you the right one. That motherfucker's only 2 minutes. His speech is 9 minutes.
All right, yeah, I know it's a truncated version. What's up, TM? And I guess while you're getting that going, man, we also have Gio in the chat, Evil Dead 666, Timba joined in. Adam and Team was here for a while. I actually have a question for that faggot. I heard something crazy about what tear tattoos actually mean.
Shit.
That only a homo could answer correctly.
Atema's here.
What's up, Atema?
What up, Atema?
All right, let me get this one in the my circle, the full speech.
Put that motherfucker in there, man.
Sorry, guys.
And here we go.
Oh, what's up, TM?
Which TM's out there?
We got
Tennessee Marine.
Oh, what up, man?
Americans, this morning, our nation is overcome with shock, horror, and sorrow. This weekend, more than 80 people were killed or wounded in two evil attacks. One Saturday morning in El Paso, Texas, a wicked man went to a Walmart store where families were shopping with their loved ones. He shot and murdered 20 people and injured 26 others, including precious little children. Then, in the early hours of Sunday morning, in Dayton, Ohio, another twisted monster opened fire on a crowded downtown street. He murdered 9 people, including his own sister, and injured 27 others. The First Lady and I join all Americans in praying and grieving for the victims, their families, and the survivors. We will stand by their side forever. We will never forget. These barbaric slaughters are an assault upon our communities, an attack upon our nation, and a crime against all of humanity. We are outraged and sickened by this monstrous evil, the cruelty, the hatred, the malice, the bloodshed, and the terror. Our hearts are shattered for every family whose parents, children, husbands,
can we cut the
ripped from their
arms. This is all boilerplate.
Yeah, no, this is all typical platitudes that anybody's going to say.
Fallen. We are a loving nation, and our children are entitled to grow up in a just,
I almost think I should have played the short
and
version.
loving society.
It's fine.
Whether we
Nah,
lock arms
we need all of it.
or the grief. We ask God in heaven to ease the anguish of those who suffer, and we vow to act with urgent resolve. I want to thank the many law enforcement personnel who responded to these atrocities with the extraordinary grace and courage of American heroes. I have spoken with Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, as well as Mayor DeMargo of El Paso, Texas, and Mayor Nan Whaley of Dayton, Ohio, to express our profound sadness and unfailing support. Today, we also send
How much you
the
want to bet fucking Mayor
condolences
EO
of
has
our
something to do
nation
with this
to
bullshit too?
President Obrador
Yup.
of Mexico and all the people of
Goddamn
Mexico
alt
for the
right
loss of their
bullshit.
citizens in
Yo.
the El Paso shooting.
Pause this real quick.
Terrible, terrible.
Terrible.
Yo, Mexico said that they're going to sue the United States for their gun laws for how many Mexican citizens were killed in the United States.
What? Good luck. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monkey.
I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, let's have fun with that one.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude. That's fucking
I have
beautiful.
also been in close contact with Attorney General Barr and FBI Director Wray. Federal authorities are on the ground, and I have directed them to provide any and all assistance required, whatever is needed. The shooter in El Paso posted a manifesto online consumed by racist hate. In one voice, our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy. These sinister ideologies must be defeated. Hate has no place in America. Hatred warps the mind, ravages the heart, and devours the soul. We have asked the FBI to identify
Wrong.
all further resources they need to investigate and disrupt hate crimes and domestic terrorism, whatever they need. We must recognize that the internet
job, that's their
has
fucking job.
provided a dangerous avenue
Right.
to radicalize disturbed minds and perform demented acts. We must shine light.
You gotta pause it here. Already, this is
Yep.
horseshit, right? So the idea that the internet's radicalizing people, you can look at all crime statistics and trends, right? I mean, the internet is the current way of communication, but it used to be, it used to be like people just met at certain clubs. If anything, the internet can actually have the opposite effect, and we've seen it because the internet, you actually get exposed to other ideas. You actually have people like Tom P who just got a strike for a video where he went through the person's manifesto. He treated it seriously, but he also, he didn't come back and say, in the answer, like, I might share some of your concerns about immigration. I might share some of your concerns about, well, you maybe not, but the environment. But the answer is not to just go pick up a gun and shoot up a crowd full of innocent people that have nothing to do with any of this.
Right.
Yeah, so I said, so you're gonna kill more poor people? Like, is that the fucking answer? The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It doesn't.
But yet,
None of
just
this makes sense.
yeah,
Well, I think a lot of these guys, they're part of it is they're looking for fame, and that's why I get confused when like they plaster their names all over the news and their faces, and you never hear about the victims. You don't see sometimes you see those names like in the first article, but like name one victim from any mass shooting, right? You could probably name a bunch of
David
mass shooters,
Hogg.
but not one victim. But you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
you can name the survivors. But
so
not the actual
like there's a
victims.
huge motivation there to like become immortalized by the mainstream media just by doing like whether it's political or not, like there's that motivation too. So
Yeah, but what's the point of all that fame if you're not going to be around to enjoy it or not?
yeah, I know
Well-
that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, so if you actually look at the manifestos of both the Christchurch shooter and the El Paso shooter, the purpose of it was to get attention. I mean, they say straight up that was the idea.
Sure.
That's what they wanted to do, is they wanted to get attention. They wanted the media to stir things up. It's a form of accelerationism that I've talked about it in like political accelerationism. I'm okay with, but not this kind of accelerationism.
Right. No, I mean this is not. No,
Anyway.
it's just
Let's get through the rest of the
Yeah.
video because there's gonna be a lot to talk about.
On the dark recesses of the internet and stop mass murders before they start. The internet likewise is used for human trafficking, illegal drug distribution, and so many other heinous crimes. The perils of the internet and social media cannot be ignored, and they will not be ignored. In the 2 decades since Columbine, our nation
come
has
on.
watched with rising horror and dread as one
Vomit.
mass shooting has followed another, over and over again, decade after decade. We cannot allow ourselves to feel powerless. We can and will stop this evil contagion. In that task, we must honor the sacred memory of those we have lost by acting as one team.
No, you won't.
Open wounds cannot heal if we are divided.
Give me control.
We must seek real bipartisan solutions. We have to do that in a bipartisan.
Man, I posted this on Twitter, but that's the shit that scares the fuck out of me, man. When Democrats and Republicans come together to pass shit, it's always terrible.
Yep.
They're like, I got a really shitty idea. And the other motherfucker's like, we can make it worse.
And then
Right.
they all just sign off on it.
Yeah, looks like it
Yeah,
sounds like
and
that's
by the
what's
way,
about
and
to
we're
happen.
not,
Truly
and we're not honoring the motherfucking memories. You know what I'm saying? Of,
No.
you know what I mean? The people who died. Like, I'll be real with you because, like, there's a lot of men who died for our fucking rights to bear arms and have freedoms and the fucking rights to
And to
have a trial by jury.
And I'm sorry, but you're not going to get rid of hatred, and you're not going to. No, there's just that's so fucking stupid. You know that you don't police hatred. You don't legislate away hatred. That's a whole different can of worms. That's not something that laws are going to change. You know.
Well, they think they
And
can.
they're all we're going to stop. He's all we're going to stop these evil acts. And no, you're not. You're not going to stop anything. If anything, whatever you do is going to only exacerbate the dissent and the despair that these people feel and feel like they have to resort to violence.
Yeah, there's all they can do is take freedoms away from people and get almost nothing in return for it.
Right.
Make America safer and better for all. First, we must do a better job of identifying and acting
God, YouTube
on
sucks.
early warning signs. I am directing the Department of Justice to work in partnership with local, state, and federal agencies, as well as social media companies to develop tools that can detect mass shooters before they strike. As an
Hit
example,
pause.
the monster
Hit pause.
How the fuck are they going to do that?
No, this is what I was worried about. This is what I was worried about, you guys, was
This
the
is why-
social media
this is why
companies
I'm
and the
done.
government getting involved with each other and no, this is nightmare scenario number 1, dude. Nope.
I'm done. Like, yo, brother, yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm leaving YouTube. I'm done, nigga. Like, it's too dangerous for me at this point. Like, I can't put my life in jeopardy to do a YouTube channel.
Or just your livelihood, your ability to take care of your family,
I can't. It's not worth it. You know what I mean?
Well,
you're making a good point. Something to think about it.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
Daniel Franklin, aka Tennessee Marine, he asked, "What the fuck? Are we gonna live in a police state now? Like for real, for real?" That's what I'm saying is what happens whenever all of a sudden Trump is saying the same shit that fucking Democrats have been saying. Yeah, he's not gonna go as far as banning guns as the Democrats want to, but he's still gonna go way fucking further than any traditional conservative that believes in the right to bear arms is an inalienable right. Which means it doesn't matter how many fuckwads get a gun and do something stupid. That should have no bearing, and there should be no impediments on my rights just because other people do something wrong.
And the fact
it's
that
almost...
he's invoked social media at all, it only can be bad because they're either going to use the data to try to track people more, to like make more decisions about who should have guns, to go after people, red flag laws. They're going to be more censorship. And all these social media companies are going to be like, see, we've been trying to do the right thing all along, and now finally the government's coming to us. See, we knew this was going to happen, so we're right all along.
Yeah, no shit, Tim. How many times do we have to say that the book 1984 was a warning sign, not an instruction manual?
Yeah, look, man.
Yeah.
On some serious shit. It's almost like Donald Trump was a New York Democrat all along. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I've
this
been
was
saying it for a
disappointing,
lot.
to say the least.
He says,
Peak fucking conservatism, dude.
Yeah,
Stand for nothing and give in to the enemy demands underneath the
Exactly.
slightest amount of pressure,
Yeah.
dude. Fuck these people.
Yeah.
fucking exactly.
Indeed.
Yo, it's over.
the
I
Parkland
mean,
High
like,
School in
the
Florida.
fight's over for me, nigga. Like,
Capitulate
literally.
to all the fucking retards.
Yet nobody
Yeah.
took decisive
No, I don't
action.
blame you, Toms.
Nobody
I get it,
did
dude.
anything.
That's
Why not?
you got
Second,
something to
we
lose.
must
I don't blame you at
stop the
all.
glorification of violence in our society. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace. It is too easy today for troubled youth to surround themselves with a culture that celebrates violence.
All right. So
Whoa, pause that spot. You gotta pause. Okay, no. Do any of us in this chat right now? That none of you guys. I know you guys well enough. As low as I know you, I know that doesn't equate to any of you guys, nor myself, obviously. The fuck. And we play some pretty fucked up video games. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can say we all
But
like
it's-
Doom and stuff like that.
But it's a
Mhm.
game, though. It's not real.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the bottom line here. It's just not
There
real.
are
Like,
those fringe people that are fucking insane. Yes,
Right.
I mean, but that's just it. It's the fringe.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man. When we're
this
talking
is-
about gamers rising up, this is exactly what I had in mind. I don't know
Yeah,
about you guys.
right. Yeah. Some people were saying, is Gamergate 2.0 going to come out?
Well,
Now-
if
now
Donald
that-
Trump tweets about it.
Well, yeah. Now that
There's-
now that the president's going after video games and the media has been going after video games forever, is there going to be an unholy alliance between the president and Donald Trump
Yeah.
against gamers?
This is what Sargon was talking about on.
We need to vote
on
monkey,
the kill stream that one
Stone
day,
Monkey in
but
2024.
Except for he's not going the way he thought he would. Remember,
If he
Sargon
does,
was-
I'm going to be so fucking pissed off just because of that.
Yeah,
Just because of that.
yeah, dude.
This whole speech is pissing me off for the tacit support I gave to Trump.
Yeah, I know.
Like, the biggest reason I like Trump is he represents everything that my enemies hate. Right?
Yeah.
He does a lot of shit that I don't like
And-
and haven't agreed with, but all of a sudden he's getting into the territory. It's like you said, Sinrise, if you're against free speech, you are the enemy.
You are my enemy. Yep. I don't care what else we agree on.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you come to that conclusion.
No.
And this is why we needed this whole video and not just a clip.
Well, yeah.
I would have caught most of it. We probably could have done without the first 3 minutes, to be real honest. But anyway, I'm going to continue.
We must stop or substantially reduce this.
Well, it does
and
kind
has
of
to
set the
begin
stage,
immediately. Cultural change
and like,
is hard, but each of us
you know,
can
it's
choose
the
to build a
the
culture
severity
that
or whatever
celebrates
that,
the inherent
you know.
worth and dignity of every human life. That's what we have to do. Third, we must reform our mental health laws to better identify mentally disturbed individuals who may commit acts of violence and make sure those people not only get treatment, but when necessary, involuntary confinement. Mental illness and hatred
pause.
pulls the trigger.
Did you just say what I think he just said?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Red flag laws.
We're gonna put these people in.
Yep.
Oh god, dude, we're
Well,
going
they're
back
gonna-
to the fucking pre-60s with this shit.
What
man?
they're going to
the
do, this
fuck?
is, I've said this before, this is how they're going to step over the Second Amendment. They're not going to abolish it. They're not going to repeal it. They're just going to ignore it. And they're going to do these things. They're red flag laws. They started with the domestic violence, and they're going to just parlay it into this. And they'll be able to just come take your guns. The feds, they can kick down your door, take your guns. If you resist, you get arrested or shot or whatever. And
Well,
yeah.
for sure, red flag laws do get people killed all the time. But this kind of ties into the other thing that we were talking about the other day with people that believe in conspiracy theories, or AKA not buying narrative.
Right, yeah.
You know,
It kicks open the door.
being
to
a
them
fucking
able to-
dissident. Yeah, it's a foot in the door. They don't care about the fucking safety of the people. It's a foot in the door, and you should never ever allow these people to even get their foot in the door.
Nope.
Well, like, yo, and this is what I was saying about, like, yo, like, I'm gonna end up in Gitmo.
Don't say that, dude.
Like, yo, I'm serious. Like, bro, they're talking about involuntary fucking confinement, nigga. Like, they're gonna come
Yeah,
back
yeah.
you out of the house.
Yeah, dude, they're just gonna fucking black bag you, dude. Just
Yep.
just whoop, you're gone.
Yeah.
You never
yeah,
existed.
so
You're just gone.
while there, like, part of me in principle thinks that there should be a standard, and the burden of proof would have to be really high to prove that somebody is mentally unstable enough. And I think this already exists to some extent.
Yeah.
They're mentally unstable enough, but the burden is so high. Like, you can't bring that down. It used to be much lower. Mental institutions were one of the easiest ways in the past for all governments throughout history to claim somebody's mentally ill and put them in a mental asylum just because they're political dissidents.
Yeah.
And to TM's point, he's talking about, so if I act up on social media, they can lock you up. This has already happened under our current laws. I was talking to Tom P earlier before about a kid named Justin Carter, and I think this happened about 4 or 5 years ago. But he was getting in an argument about a League of Legends match, and it went to Facebook. The person said, "You're crazy." Like, they were just bickering back and forth. He responded back. The kid's like 8, he just turns 18, right? And his response back was, "Oh yeah, I'm so crazy. I'm gonna shoot up a school full of children and eat their still beating hearts."
Right.
And then they used, under the Patriot Act, they counted that as a terroristic threat. An overzealous prosecutor went and arrested him. They put him in jail. He was in jail for 6 months. He was abused there, raped there, and it wasn't until the story actually got some hype in the video game community that some anonymous donor actually paid for his bail, and then he actually got some pro bono lawyer to come work for him. And what's funny is the prosecutor, no matter what, would not drop the case even though they couldn't win. And they prolonged it so long, he ended up making a plea deal to some BS misdemeanor.
Right.
But still, that
Happens
was
all the
4
time.
years of his life that was ruined because of one post on Facebook. So
Well, potentially his whole life is ruined.
Yeah, potentially. So what do you think would happen if they lowered the bar even more? If that can happen under current laws, what would happen if they lowered the bar even more as to what you can or can't say without the FBI knocking on your door?
Yeah, it'll just make it that much easier and faster. It knocks down the any sort of due process. You know?
Yeah. And on top of this, like they're not
This
gonna.
This is piggybacking off the fucking Obama
The Patriot Act.
shit. Yep.
No, that was Bush. I mean, that wasn't
I know,
Obama, that was
but
Bush.
the Patriot Act is where they played off of the panic and the outrage and the despair of 9/11 to create the Patriot Act, which is completely unconstitutional.
But yet every year
there was another one too, right? Didn't they come up with another one?
The NDAA.
More recently? Yeah.
National Defense Authorization Act. Fucking
Yep.
yeah.
All
They just what they did was they lumped all the Patriot Act funding into the NDAA.
Right. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, but fucking it's not
This
just
is just the next step in the overall plan. I mean, if you want to talk conspiracy theories.
I just gotta say amen, brother, to TM out there, because thank God for guns.
Yo.
Not the gun.
All right, I want to get us further down the video.
Those judged to pose a grave risk to public safety do not have access to firearms, and that if they do, those firearms can be taken through rapid due process. That is why I have called for red.
There's nothing rapid about due process.
Well, they're mutually exclusive ideas.
Yeah, there's no, exactly.
The whole point of due process is to make it not rapid. Like, that's it.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I told you, dude, like, yo, this is why, like, I'm saying, like, nigga, like, this shit's dangerous and scary, and I don't know if I'm down for this battle. I don't have the money to fight this.
So the only thing I can hope for is that, because obviously this is not a speech Donald Trump wrote. Well, the only thing I can hope for is that enough people that are sensible around him, because almost everybody that's I would say a grassroots supporter has listened to this and said, this is nonsense. Like, you need to get all this shit out of your head. And we can just hope that he backpedals on it. But as of right now, screw him. Like, I was gonna vote for him out of spite. Now I'm just gonna waste my vote on the Libertarian Party again, hoping that
I'm just
maybe someday, or I just won't vote. Like, I'll have better shit to do.
Why bother? What difference is it gonna make?
Yeah, we're fucked no matter where we go now. There's no hiding.
Yeah, we may as well elect a Democrat. This is what I say, political accelerationism. We may as well like you vote for the worst candidate, knowing that that's the direction we're going anyway, and we just get it over with.
flag laws,
I mean,
also known as
I mean,
extreme
since this is a video
risk
game stream,
protection
sorry, I don't know when you
orders.
unpause the video. I apologize.
Today,
That's okay.
I'm also directing
Since this is a
unpaused.
video
the
game
Department
stream,
of
just to
Justice to
tie it
propose
back into video
legislation
games, like, what are they gonna
ensuring
do?
that
Like,
those
if you're a
who
developer
commit hate
and they pass a
crimes
bunch
and
of stupid
murder
laws where you can like, where they have to like be reviewed by some government agency to make sure it's not too violent, why the hell would you bother making a video game?
Yeah, well, fortunately, at least stuff like that's going to get tied up in the courts. But the Fourth Amendment is one of the First Amendment. The Supreme Court's been really, really good with. All the other ones, they've been terrible, right? So the Fourth Amendment, the red flag laws, those are going to be, those are going to be absolutely terrible.
Yeah. But this stuff, like I said, this can step right over that. They can just do it because, like you said, it's still due process. It's just rapid now.
Well, yeah, that's
like,
what I'm saying. It's like some of the dumb shit they've said about cops, like stupid stuff about how if a cop asks you to unlock your doors, they can open it. Like, it's dumb things that they say, which is just not the case, right? I was like, well, the door's unlocked and you still can't come in. I was like, well, no, you already gave me affirmative consent because I asked you to unlock the door, which assumes that I get to come in and search your place, even though I don't have a warrant. So there's all sorts of stuff they've done. And plus, you have everything Snowden came out with. They can collect all the information you want, but they can go to a FISA judge, which we know how reliable they are, to get a warrant to actually look at it. Because we know that everybody that works in the government is actually going to go through that process to look at the data they collected and not just look at it because they have access to it to begin with.
Right.
It's not like the FISA judges are the only people with the encryption key. It's so stupid. Anyway, I do want to continue on with the video. I want to talk about this more, but I just want to get through the rest of what Trump has to say.
Yeah.
Face the death penalty, and that this capital punishment be delivered quickly, decisively, and without years of needless delay. These are just a few of the areas of cooperation
finally, one thing I agree with.
we can pursue. I am open and ready to listen and discuss all ideas that will actually work and make a very big difference. Republicans and Democrats have proven that we can join together in a bipartisan fashion to address this plague. Last year, we enacted the Stop School Violence and Fix NICS Acts into law, providing grants to improve school safety and strengthening critical background checks for firearm purchases. At my direction, the Department of Justice banned bump stocks. Last year, we prosecuted a record number of firearms offenses. But there is so much more that we have to do. Now is the time to set destructive partisanship aside, so destructive, and find the courage to answer hatred with unity, devotion, and love. Our future is in our control. America will rise to the challenge. We will always have, and we always will, win. The choice is ours, and ours alone. It is not up to mentally ill monsters. It is up to us. If we are able to pass great legislation after all of these years, we will ensure that those who were attacked will not have died in vain. May God bless the memory of those who perished in Toledo. And may God protect them. May God protect all of those from Texas to Ohio. May God bless the victims and their families. May God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, he knows he fucked up. He was like, Toledo? No, it wasn't Toledo. It wasn't Toledo.
Yeah, he was. So none of what he said at the end was true, right? There's no legislation he's gonna pass that's gonna slow down the trends of violence. Like people
of course not.
People are gonna figure out a way to do it,
no matter what.
right? This whole idea that if you just add one more layer, you're gonna prevent it from happening. But in New Zealand, they have some of the strictest gun laws. You can't even to apply for a firearms permit in New Zealand. You can't even put on there that self-defense is an appropriate reason for you to have a gun. Right? It's got to be some other reason. And yet, the Christchurch shooting still happened.
Yeah, they say that they want to enact all these these mental health checkups and stuff like that, but that would not have caught the two that did it over the weekend. They were totally clean, totally normal people, had no previous convictions or anything like that. Stuff like that would not have stopped what happened over the weekend.
Well, and a percentage of people are psychopaths or sociopaths, right? Like one of the two. It's just that is the case, and like sometimes it doesn't manifest itself into actual violence, but it can.
Yep. Hey, Vash is here.
Yep.
What's up, Vash? Do you have any idea what we're talking about?
Is Trump being stupid again?
Did you watch?
It's worse than that, but yeah.
Yeah, the long story short is Trump is now for red flag laws, more gun laws, and he's blaming video games and media and social media for the mass shootings that have taken place.
Yeah, he kind of went full retard all of a sudden.
Well, he's not alone. He's not alone either. He's got Lindsey Graham, and he's got fucking... The fuck is that dude with the one eye?
Oh, I know. But
Yeah,
fucking Solid Snake. I forgot his name.
Yeah,
Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
I
also,
what Ted Cruz has to say about this shit.
all of these talking points have also been already said by Democrats in the last 4 years, so they're going to have to get on board with it. They're going to get on board with it. This really will be Trump's great bipartisan moment that I mean, it might be great. You know what? It might even get him reelected, but it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Man, I look away for 5 seconds and everything falls apart.
Yo, dude.
Dude.
You want to check out the Lindsey Graham one next?
Here in a second, I do real quick. Godfather 1 said he asked me to stop voting for the lesser two evils. Voting for an independent or libertarian is better than voting Democrat. No, I completely agree with that. One thing that you do have to remember in the context of what I was saying is voting for a Democrat will lead the country down the direction I think it's already going, which will lead to some sort of very, financial or economic collapse, which will be very terrible for everybody. But then after that, maybe something better will rise from the ashes, which is what I said. Which is what I say.
I've already been explaining that it's a giant monster with two heads going to the same fucking stomach. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and Trump was supposed to be the outsider, but it seems like this is
weird.
This is his final big move to the center, I guess.
I don't know. It's weird because he just did that whole social media summit, and now this. It's like it's two Trumps. Like what happened? What happened to the Trump that was for free speech?
Oh my God! Remember that guy? Yeah, the guy that was like, "There's two Trumps. There's one with the blue tie."
Said there's two Trumps.
There's one with the blue tie and one with the red tie, and they're two different people.
Oh shit! Which side did we have? I gotta go back and look at this.
All right, you go back and look at it. Let me know.
Oh, I can't rewind it.
Oh, we hit the blue tie Trump.
That was the blue tie, man. That's the Democratic Trump. We want the red tie.
Atema says Bill Mitchell can kiss my ass. I've got that right here in my hand, actually. He says, I don't agree with all conservative positions because I'm not an ideologue. I'm a hashtag resultist. I don't care if gays marry. I don't care if you smoke pot. I don't care. And I don't want suicidal Satan worshippers who got suspended from school for threatening to murder girls to have guns.
Once again, the 90's call. They want their arguments back.
Right.
Oh, look, man, you know the situation, all right? Like, everybody's fucking satanic, you know what I mean? It's all Luciferian. They're all worshiping the mother goddess right now. That's what the situation is.
Yeah.
And black people were originally the people of Europe, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're also Native Americans.
But aren't the real Satanists supposed to be the people in government that are telling us what's satanic and what's not? Right? They're deflecting.
I'm fucking done. Nigga, I'm done. Like, this shit's getting retarded. Like, the bitches, these are going to be the people who actually make the decisions as to who gets guns and who doesn't. And I don't want these fucking, I don't, can we move to another planet by chance? Is there some other place we can live?
If you embrace the Mormon church, at least when you die, you'll get your own planet.
Yeah, right. I like my underwear the way they are.
I mean, that might be a small price to pay, you know.
No. That's not underwear. That's temple garments. Temple garments.
Are they still taking applications for Mars colony participants?
Yeah, we need to go on the Space Force.
I just
You know what,
don't know,
dude?
dude.
I say we all flood Antarctica and we just plant a giant trash no state flag there. We set up all the trebuchets and we live with the penguins.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna watch Lindsey Graham now and find out why red flags work.
All right,
good.
Great.
Let's go, Lindsay.
Because he.
Hey, I know those. I know
God,
those. Those are in
right,
soccer,
too.
man. You get ejected
As we told you
and
earlier,
shit.
the weekend's mass shootings in Ohio and Texas have renewed calls for gun control legislation. President Trump talked about gun violence and ideological hatred this morning. So let's discuss it with a key member of Congress, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, chair of the Judiciary Committee. He joins us from Greenville, South Carolina. Welcome, Senator.
Thank you for having me. I'm here at the Greenville GOP.
I just want to point out before I even hear a word this guy has to say, I'm already disappointed in myself for being so proud of him for showing teeth in the Kavanaugh hearings.
Well, you couldn't have seen this coming.
Let me say, I'm weirded out about the fact that he got Mexicans up front.
Lindsey Graham does this. He does this like once a month. He'll do something cool, and then he'll do something fucked up, and then he'll do something cool again, and then he'll do something fucked up. He's been doing this ever since the Kavanaugh hearings, and probably his whole fucking life.
You're right. He's a pander, and he always has been.
Hey,
Yeah, Pablo, how the hell did you get up there?
Yeah, we're going to try to do that with you as well. I first want to get your reaction to the weekend's events. And of course, as predictable, plenty of reaction on both sides of the aisle that's political in nature.
Well, number one, the people to blame are the shooters and nobody else. It's a sick and senseless crime, and there's a common pattern. In many of these cases, people are disturbed. They take the law in their own hands. They're full of hate, and they act out, and it's time for us to act. You know, calling the president names is not going to solve this problem. For the last 24 hours, it's been really over the top. I'm looking for a Democrat to work with, not to insult. So I'm hoping I can find some Democrats that will work with me, starting with the idea of red flag laws. I think these protective orders have a lot of hope to solve some of these cases.
I'm going to put up a map now so folks can see where there are a number of
Done and done.
Okay. These temporary protective orders.
Yeah, they're never temporary.
Well, that's not even the fucking point. But the other half of that is they're never like done through like the legal system. There's no right to an attorney. There's no right to a jury. There's no right to a trial to have your
Due process
rights revoked.
That's the whole point of it. Then.
And number two,
rights get in the way.
Mexicans, those two Mexicans in that goddamn crowd. I think they were like the individuals who were like setting shit up and hey man, have a seat. You know what I mean? They didn't even give them a sign.
Right.
That's some grimy shit.
How the fuck does Neffel not have a wrench in here? You son of a bitch.
What?
Neffels never around.
Just make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know what's up?
They're just like, hey, look, if you sit up here, we'll give you some food and tinfoil. We know that you like that shit.
You're right, though. Find that shit laying all over the place.
All right, let's get back to the video.
States that have done this across the country. Of course, there are always concerns about due process. A lot of people have. Guns could be taken. Second Amendment rights could be potentially violated before people have a chance to make their side of the case. How do you thread that needle?
Well, you know what? I'm actually not okay with it, but I'm somewhat okay with individual states having their own laws when it comes to this red flag shit. I do not want a federal law.
I hate ours, dude. Getting a gun here now is like fucking.
Yep. You live in Oregon, which is banned by a bunch of or Washington. Okay, you're almost as bad.
Just about. Just about, pretty much.
Yeah, you're ran by a bunch of fucking
worse
commies,
because
so.
we have Canada above us.
Well, number one, Indiana was one of the first states to do this. Here's what we do. This is not going to be a federal law, it'll be a federal grant program.
All right, so
to get the federal grant,
one of the things that I've noticed.
There has to
pause
be
the video
an
so
imminent
pause the video so
threat.
Vash can talk.
Whenever I was Oh yeah, I'll wait.
Nah, man. Like, we pause the video. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
Say it.
Okay.
You got it, bro.
Whenever I was up in New York, one of the things that I had noticed was that New York State, and thank you, X. But New York State, the Western New York did not have any problem with guns. New York City had a fucking problem with guns. Now, the laws that they had, which was, let's say I wanted a Luger from World War II. I just want to collect that fucking pistol. Well, that pistol has around how many in a magazine plus one in the chamber?
Isn't it 7?
Yeah,
No.
13. So that
that's
is
right, you're right.
in the state of New York because you can only have 7 total bullets, 6 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber.
Right.
And in the city, yeah, I could kind of understand that. In Western New York,
I can't, not even the city.
Well, I mean,
gun problem, they have a
Western-
violence problem. People,
Yeah,
if
in
they don't have
Western
guns, they're going to be
New York,
throwing rocks at each other. It doesn't make any
it's like, these people are out in the countryside. They're over like, they're mainly like quote unquote Southerns. Like, they're farmers, they're agricultural and stuff like that. So it didn't make sense. That's one of the reasons why whenever I was up in New York, I just said, why don't we just make New York City into its own state and call it New Amsterdam?
Because this gun control laws don't work.
Exactly, they don't.
That's all there is to it. They don't work anywhere.
We have as many guns in this country as we do citizens, so what is making laws now going to do?
Make it harder for law-abiding citizens to protect themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and... you're in the mic circle now, Vash?
Yes.
All right.
I mean, the CDC published
or to
the
others before
results,
the police, and it can only be the
access
police
to
can go
more
to a
guns
judge.
actually
You have a hearing.
lives.
You
So
got to
restricting
have more
guns,
likely than not
it's
standard
gonna
that
have the
there's an
opposite
imminent threat of bodily injury. 7
I mean,
days later, you have a
obviously the idea
full-blown
is a
hearing,
little more complex
clear
than
and
that,
convincing
but
evidence where the gun
that's
owner
what
can
comes down
come
to.
in and defend themselves, and the government has to prove by clear and convincing evidence that the person is disturbed, a danger to themselves or others. And
everything he said might sound good to some house mom, but they basically just said you were guilty until proven innocent.
Yep.
That test is met, they can seize the guns and get the person the help they need. In Parkland, Florida, Cruz had 32 to 40 visits by the cops. They had no way to stop him. He did everything but take an ad out in the paper, I'm going to kill people. So what I want to do is encourage these laws with robust due process, and I think that's the president's goal also.
Well, he talked about that today. He talked about trying to unify and make this
Oh
a
my God,
nonpartisan
that's such
issue, but to find
bullshit.
bipartisan solutions on the Hill. That's
That's
been
what
really
the
tough to do. I want to
FBI's
play something
job
from
is.
former Democratic Congressman Luis Gutierrez today, talking about first the discussion was in the context of the war on terror, and he says it's really the domestic issue we have to look at, and he's not buying what the president was selling today. Here's what he said.
Yes, we need a war on terrorism here in the United States of America to eradicate. But the first thing we need to do is the President of the United States has to stop igniting the flames of hatred and bigotry.
All the wars on all the wars on fill in the blank have been so successful. Let's go down the list of wars on whatever that we won. Let's see. I guess there aren't any.
War on poverty. We're doing great on that one, are we?
Yeah, war on drugs.
Have you listened to this guy? He is barely fucking coherent.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, yeah. So one of the
as soon as he
ironies.
said we need a new war, he's
Isn't
Yeah.
terrorism still a buzzword? What the fuck is Gilbert Gottfried's retarded cousin doing on TV?
Also, I mean, he's sitting here talking about, it's Trump's fault for all of this, which is, it's complete fucking horseshit. Even if you look at that, the over the weekend we had one left-wing shooter, which his motives are unknown, right? He didn't leave back some manifesto saying why he did it, right? And then you had a right-wing shooter. I mean, and I say right-wing loosely. Really, there's a reason they call things third position. But anyway, So, and then he says that he blames it on Trump, but every single person has said, no, we don't really like Trump that much, right? Like, Trump is not the person you think he is, right? We are,
Yeah, apparently.
we in fact, the fact that Trump is not who we think we thought he was is maybe part of the reason that they're doing what they're doing.
Yikes.
It's like him in the White House is not helping their cause, right? So even the racists say that Donald Trump, who is apparently literal Hitler, is not literal Hitler enough, and they have to take matters into their own hand.
Orange man, bad.
Orange man, not bad
and
enough.
division in this country. I don't believe any of what you said today.
Senator, where is the bipartisan space to get something done?
Well, I've worked with Senator Blumenthal, and we're getting close. We're going to run it by the White House. We've talked to owner groups, so we've talked to the cops, and we're trying to come up with a serious solution to a serious problem. We're trying to empower police officers to do something before it's too late with plenty of due process. We're not trying to take anybody's guns away from them. We're trying to get guns out of the hands of people who are dangerous, who actually may kill themselves or somebody else. That's the goal. We're trying to shut down these social media sites that spew hate. We're trying to find solutions.
So he said, pause it. He said that they're not trying to take guns away from people. They're just trying to take guns away from people.
Yeah. Also,
and he also talked about shutting down social media sites that spew hate, aka shutting down social media sites that allow people to freely speak their mind, even if it's hateful.
Shutting down social media.
Right?
Completely.
Exactly. This is exactly what the left wings have been talking about.
Why have the internet at all?
well, I mean, the other thing that I've and Godfather brought it up in the chat about Australia. I remember a few months, maybe even a year back, where there was a can we all agree that Australia has some fucking strict gun policies, right?
Sure, yeah.
Well,
everybody uses that as an example of gun control that works, even though
Yeah,
that's wrong too.
we've had Godfather 1 talking about that here in our chat.
Yeah, and the thing is with that, there was still a dude that like killed his entire family and a suicide with a gun. So it doesn't work.
No, of course gun control doesn't work.
Yeah,
Once you actually look at the real numbers.
Godfather, while in principle, what you're saying about how about we just ban single motherhood because 80% of the person population was raised by single mothers. Yeah, like if I was for the authoritarian kick of something that would actually work, it's more statistic. Yeah, exactly. Like it makes more sense if you actually like look at the correlations. But yeah, that's not what this is about. This is about political grandstanding. Right. That's 100% what this is about. And I think a lot of these, even like, I don't think these politicians are dumb. I think they know that anything they throw on the table is not going to really solve the fucking problem. Right? Like, these mass shooting incidents, they're so goddamn fucking rare. It's not even... Neil deGrasse Tyson tweeted out, and he got a whole bunch of shit for it. Talking about how, roughly 50 people were killed over this weekend in mass shootings. And then he pointed out a whole bunch of things that happen every 48 hours, right? Like death counts, like people called in car crash.
100 people die in cars needlessly.
Yeah, a couple
people
hundred.
Are unconscious assholes.
Yeah, but the other thing, the other thing he said is
dying from a hand job.
Murders that aren't mass shootings, are still above that total.
Their own refrigerators.
Yeah. But they need a smoke screen, Excel. They need a fucking smoke screen.
Yeah, dude, shit was what?
Well, they need votes so they can keep their easy ass government jobs. That's what it really comes down to.
Yeah. Also, they want a $5,000 raise.
Yeah.
24 hours has been pretty
maybe not as smart
disappointing
as
to hear all the rhetoric directed at
President Trump. I don't think
Trump.
this is a conspiracy to enact a police state and take our rights away and finally have control. I think this is just a bunch of assholes trying to stay in power so that because having a government job is the easiest fucking job in the world. High paid, you don't have to do shit.
Yeah,
it's gonna serve towards bringing about a police state, but I don't think that they give a fuck.
I'm gonna continue the video after this, but yeah, like you're right there to an extent. But for like government asserting more power for itself justifies its own existence. So
Yeah, I mean
Not
that,
the
and that all
problem
serves
here.
to just
The
keep more
Congress
people
for
employed
years
by the
has been
government, which
talking.
again
It's now
is an
time to
easy ass
act.
job.
And if Senator
It's like not working for a
Blumenthal and
living
I
and
can
still
come
getting
up
paid.
with a package that has protections for the gun owner but allows the cops to do something before it's too late, I hope we can get a vote in the Senate and it will pass.
Okay, I want to ask you about some foreign policy issues as well while we have you. The president last week talking about the fact that, listen, he campaigned on bringing our troops home from a number of conflicts around the world. He's now talking.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we're done. We're done here. I don't care about that.
They're going to
one.
preserve your rights, but they're still going to take your guns away. I'm sure they're going to be giving a lot of them back.
Preserve.
Once you've been cleared, you'll get your guns back. Don't worry, sir. We're not taking your rights away at all. It's temporary. Yeah.
We're just putting your guns in a timeout, mister.
Yeah.
See, all I'm gonna say is this shit's all. I knew this shit was gonna happen. I just thought it was gonna happen years earlier.
Well, me too, but I just didn't think Trump was going to have a hand in it. You know what I mean?
And
But
then,
I guess I should have seen that coming too, really.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
like,
expected it to happen any time, but god damn it, man, I wasn't
Yeah.
actually as ready for it as I thought I would be. It's
Trump,
like,
I expect Trump to fight this stuff, not help bring it about.
Yeah, so Trump, like the proper response to this for Trump would be like it's a really sad situation and local law enforcement should do a better job of blah blah blah. Maybe even make the right wing talking point of, you know, if there were more good people with guns there, maybe they could have stopped the shooter quicker.
Exactly.
Which is plausible. John Lott is he's done a lot of work on it. He's one of the people that debated Destiny, but there's a lot of statistics that are hard to dig up, but the number of crimes that are prevented just by people having guns is incredibly significant, and it probably outweighs the problem with gun violence in America. And I just want to segue that into real quick. Gio was talking about when we were talking about New York City. He said, you know, it's just the black people in New York City. New York City has a black problem. Now, I'm not one of those people that's going to say like I'm not like Thomas Sowell is one of my heroes, right? I realize that there's a disparity. It is what it is, but he's right in the fact that if you take the urban population, which is mostly black, has a ridiculously high murder rate, and put it in any country, any fucking country, if you just transplanted them with the same cultural attitude that they have to any country in the world, I don't care what European utopia that you think it is, that community is going to have the same fucking problems they have in America.
All right, I just privated my channel.
All right.
You know what I mean? I'll decide whether or not I want to unlist everything or not here in a little while. But yeah, like nigga, with all this shit, I do believe that it is no longer worth doing.
You just need to take Rick, Tom Pease, come up with a new channel, come out and come back with, you know, like TFM does, just with a completely whole new thing, and just don't let anyone know you're.
He doesn't do whole new things, and like he's
no one knows who he is.
What do you mean nobody knows who he is?
Well, I suppose, I mean, unless he's, I don't know. I just think he's probably done all the right things you could do to not get identified.
He has a background. He has a backup channel. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he does. He has a backup channel. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying, I think he's protected his own identity. I think he's taken steps to protect his own identity, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You know, I mean, like the feds can track you to fuck down.
Yeah, I mean,
I suppose they can.
Really, if you're doing something bad enough, that
Well, I can't wait to hear what he says about this because he's got a perspective on that could be real interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, it's over, man. You know, I mean, that's where we are right now. It's over. You know, I mean, it's time. It's time to go hide. And
I mean, if this stuff is for real, if it's not just a bunch of bullshit and they don't do anything, if they actually start pushing the stuff through, you're probably right, dude.
It's time to go get ready.
And again,
This could also be nothing. This could all just be bullshit. They may not do anything.
The problem is the reason I see another act being passed before even the next election is because all Trump did there is he reiterated a lot of talking points that come from the left.
I know, dude.
Like, come from people left of him. So when he says he's ready for bipartisan measure, he used language that he is willing to pass a bill. And whenever both parties are going to support it, like I said, it's going to fuck everybody. It's not going to be good. There's going to be nothing in that bill that's going to do anything to save anything's lives, and there's going to be everything in that bill to give more government power over your life and what you can or cannot do.
And just spend that much more money too. Whole new apartment, everything.
I think that the whole
They're coming to get you, Vash.
That's me.
Oh, they're already there.
They're ready to come and get Pinoy.
Man, you weren't kidding.
Fuck. You didn't privatize your channel fast enough.
Get out of there.
But I do believe
that it's just showing that there is no left or right. The two
Not when
polar
it comes to the government,
opposites, the two polar opposites are just fucking. Do you want a shit sandwich or a puke smoothie? You got to choose one.
Yeah.
And they're going to be doing the same agenda. Now, the silver lining to this, I believe. Now everybody's black-pilled, and I completely understand. But the silver lining to this is the fact that people are going to start seeing that a little bit more. Because, the left and right are both going like, wait a second, we both hate Trump. Wait, you hate Trump? Yeah, we fucking hate him. What about you? Yeah, we do too. Oh, well.
Well, I'm not joining Antifa if that's what you're getting at.
No. I'm just saying that we're starting to see that there's something, like there isn't two parties anymore. It's just they're deciding to give you the illusion of free choice rather than everybody's played Half-Life. Is it really that time again? That just the illusion. That's all it is just a charade to try and say, oh well, you did vote for this.
Yeah.
Vote for that.
Well, like Daniel, aka Tissy Marine, is asking, how did nobody figure this out already? Left wing and right wing, or it's still the same shit hawkbird. I mean, I've thought that way for a while. I just thought that Trump was something different. I didn't actually never consider Trump right wing, to be honest. As much as the media kept tried to paint him as this far right wing figure, like it's like Tom P said earlier, he's a New York Democrat. Right? The only thing, like, all he does is say shit to get under people's skin. And a lot of this is, I guarantee that the outrage it's faux outrage generated by the media just to make things more divisive.
Yeah.
Well, let's put this into a little bit of perspective real quick, right? And I mean, like, those who make motherfucking peaceful revolution, you know what I'm saying, impossible, will make violent revolution inevitable. Yep. And like, so that's where we are right now. They're making peaceful revolution motherfucking impossibility and taking away free speech and taking away, your fucking right to bear arms. And like, it is what it is. The revolution is going to come, and like, there's nothing anybody can do about it. You might as well go get prepared at this point. Like, just get your shit together, do what you got to do, get your money right, get you some water, get you some fucking ammo.
Out of the city.
Yeah.
Gio, if you're one of those people that thought Trump was talking really fashy and I think even Richard Spencer said, oh, we think when Trump is saying these things, he's talking specifically to white people. I never saw it. I didn't think that was going on. Donald Trump just kind of has his own way of speaking. He's clumsy with language. He always has been. Yeah. I don't think that was ever the case. The biggest thing I thought is that Trump was not going to be influenced by these outside sources thinking that bullshit solutions like what he's proposing now are going to solve anything.
Yeah, but I got to go to work. So fucking, I'm going to holler at y'all motherfuckers later. We'll see what the hell happens. See what's going on. For sure, it's a depressing day. Y'all enjoy your night. Have a good rest of your fucking stream and shit. Kick it.
Don't
enjoy
be
yourself.
A stranger, Tom.
I got you. I'm the fuck up out of here. Peace, Excel, my brother. Well, I'll holler at you, Excel.
Yeah. I just want to say, Gio, there's a little bit of difference from saying that, like, I don't understand why we're letting people in from these countries that are full of people that hate us. I don't see that relationship directly, like, being fascist, where he's like, I want to kick out the people in this country that already hate us. Which, I'm not going to lie, man, I am great, especially when it comes to ideological grounds. I'm all for giving commies the helicopter rides, but I think when Trump said that, I think he was actually just targeting countries that really hate us, and for political reasons. Even when he announced that ban list, like, he couldn't include Saudi Arabia. How can you include Saudi Arabia when you have so many business dealings with them?
Right.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Well, I gotta get going here pretty quick too.
All right. Well, for everybody that's staying, I do have a couple more videos to play, and one of them is great. It's the Penn and Teller compare video games to football.
Video games.
Is this from like their show Bullshit?
It's from the old Bullshit. It's a 2-minute clip, so hopefully we don't get shut down for playing it.
Yeah, I don't know who owns their shit.
Do you want to? You can get away with more than you think you can, except if it's MSNBC.
Okay.
Next time you feel like worrying about fake, violent video games, try a little Godolkin experiment. Imagine that video games were invented 100 years before football. Picture school video game teams in uniforms and hot-ass cheerleaders with big
Funny enough, those things
bouncing
exist now.
pom-poms. Now imagine that after 100 years of extracurricular video game fun, football is invented and introduced to schools. Thousands of kids get real, no kidding, no fantasy, no make-believe, broken knees, legs, ankles, cervical trauma, heat stroke, and concussions.
Fuck yeah.
What do parents do? From 1931 to 2007, 665 kids died from injuries they suffered playing football. This is not video game violence. This is real violence done to real children by other real children, all encouraged by schools and society.
Yeah, that's funny. I know 0 people, personally, that I grew up with that died in a mass shooting. I know 2 people that died playing Pop Warner football.
Yeah, dude. There's a real problem in the
worries
NFL
about
with
his or her kids. Every adult worries about all children, but you need
they get
to
kids
pick
in
what you
playing in
think
high
is
school,
worth
and
worrying about.
it's like, it's a big problem.
we think our young friend
we used to talk
Harrison's
about
mother
it,
has
but
the
it's
right
been a couple
idea.
years now, and I guess it's
See,
kind
we
of
have
like
a
passe now.
confession
But
to make. We really were pretty nervous about Harrison shooting that big, scary gun.
no, that was
we knew there were some safety
really,
risks,
really
both
good show. They
physically
really
and psychologically.
They really break shit
we
down.
didn't show you everything that happened.
And
at the
it
shooting
aired.
range
It ended
that day.
before
We
the
don't
whole
feel
Trump
right
hysteria
about
too,
that.
because I think
So this is
Penn
what you
is
didn't see.
kind of on the whole anti-Trump train too.
All right,
He's a bit of a weirdo.
Real quick, I paused this video because one of the experiments they did with this is they let a kid that was like 10 years old and played violent video games. They let him shoot an actual gun.
Yeah.
And we're about to see what happened.
2 minutes after Harrison got the chance to be the killing machine that Jack Thompson believes he could be.
I got you. You did a good job.
Sorry, Harrison.
That might have actually been the kid from Ohio.
It all started on Penn and Teller's bullshit in the 1990s. Who's calling
blood on his hands.
back?
He went and cried to his mommy.
That poor bastard.
Little pussy.
Yeah, Tennessee Marine, we have a small problem with watching the video or talking, is that some of us don't actually have, they're not actually on the My Circle, so people were talking through it while I was trying to play it. That's my bad, man. You can blame me.
That's Sinrise's bad. He doesn't have white people internet.
Yeah, like, so much of this is reminiscent. Like, we're going to see it again, man. The Satanic Panic all over again. We're going to see the Tipper Gore equivalent in Congress questioning video game developers about their role in the actions of people that happen to do a bad thing that might have owned their video game.
Right. Except the difference is that this is going to have like nothing really terrible. I mean, they created a rating system was about the worst Like the result of all that bullshit, the result of this new bullshit is going to be.
Well, yeah, because they
a
lost.
lot worse.
They fucking lost in the 90s.
Right.
And it was a bipartisan thing, too. You had the Christian Coalition and those fucking angry Democratic housewives, like Tipper Gore.
Yep.
And the only thing I can think of was why Trump would pander this much is to go after that demographic. Because they're still around, and I guarantee you they're equally as concerned.
Oh,
Even though, like, I had some articles pulled up, but I don't really need to say much. The end result of all the scientific research behind video game violence and as what it does to actual real world violence is there's no causal connection whatsoever. There's like a slight correlation, and then you're gonna have a whole bunch of other studies that they'll say that playing violent video games, when you're done, causes a slight increase in aggressive behavior, but you have to understand what measures they're using with aggressive behavior. What's really going on is the same thing that would happen if you just got done with a dopamine rush.
Mm-hmm.
Right? By aggressive behavior, they don't mean you all of a sudden decide that it might be a good idea to pull out a gun and shoot up a fucking school full of children. That's not what happens.
Yeah.
Nope. But they keep saying because of that one shooter that was like, this would be just like Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose most of these people are like completely untrained and they go with guns. They only get away with it because they're always going to places where nobody else has a gun, which is what I said earlier.
Yeah. Well,
I think it was Matt Christensen who actually watched the video of the Christchurch shooting. He watched the entire. I would never watch that. I couldn't stomach it at all.
Really?
No, I couldn't either.
I still have it.
But yeah, he watched it. He watched. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you do, Ryan.
And once you start, it's hard to beat off without it.
But anyway, he said the worst part about watching the entire thing was how defenseless everybody else was.
Yeah. No, it is fucking terrible.
Look at the statistics of mass
correct
shootings.
the record.
They usually happen in gun-free zones.
I know. And
which
that's
makes
one of the
sense.
things John Lund. Yeah, well, like if you want to
want people
actually,
shooting back at
if
you.
you want to actually accomplish something, like you're not going to go to your local gun club, right? You're going to get a few shots off, and then everybody's going to shoot back at you.
You're gonna get filled full of lead.
Fuck you! You barely get one shot off. You know, if it's a decent gun club. I mean, come on now.
Right.
I mean, other than that.
You know how I like to keep it short and sweet here?
Yeah.
I am actually okay with ending this, but I want to go ahead and stick with me for another 2 minutes and actually it's not going to be that long. It's going to be about 1 minute and 30 seconds. I just want to play what happened with Dee Snider back in the 90s. Whenever they called him in, because it wasn't just video games, it was also rock and roll music that was causing kids to turn violent and do crazy shit.
Somebody approached our office that they want the Senate committee is giving a hearing on censorship of PMRC and wanted to know if I would come and speak. Start reading.
Since I seem to be the only person addressing this committee today who has been a direct target.
All right, a little backstory is all he was trying to say is he showed up dressed as his like own character, like in the rock and roll clothes, had a folded up piece of paper in his back pocket, pulls it out, and delivers his fucking truth bomb.
Because that's all you need.
From the presumably responsible PMRC. I would like to use this occasion to speak on a more personal note and show just how unfair the whole concept of lyrical interpretation and judgment can be, and how many times this can amount to little more than character assassination.
And I am just tearing apart everything that they've accused me of, disproving beyond a shadow of a doubt that everything they've accused me of has been wrong, false, and they are scrambling. They were saying that Under the Blade was about sadomasochism and bondage. It was about my guitar player's throat operation.
It's not really a wild leap of the imagination to jump to the conclusion that that's about something other than surgery or hospitals, neither of which are mentioned in the song.
No, it's not a wild jump, and I think what I said in one part was that songs allow a person to put their own imagination, experiences, and dreams into the lyrics. People can interpret it many ways. Ms. Gore was looking for sadomasochism and bondage, and she found it. Someone looking for surgical references would have found it as well.
Yeah.
I said, I can't help that Tipper Gore's got a dirty mind, and Al Gore just, oh my God, he really jumped over the table. They were saying, we're not going to take it. We should be on the filthy 15 for violence, and it was no more violent than the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, dude.
Love it.
Dude,
Love it.
Dude, he's the
love
man.
it.
He owned that day. Owned
Yep.
so good. I watched they have the whole clip of it, the whole entire thing he did without
It's
the
good.
cuts. It's freaking It's hard to
Honestly,
find, but
that's
it's
what we
good.
need right now, man. We just need everybody to sing in unison. We're not gonna take it.
No, we ain't gonna take it.
Oh man.
God love Twisted Sister, man. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
I got superhero with them before.
Dude, I can't wait, guys. Sunday's my birthday.
All right.
Oh yeah, so we gotta set up. So Sunday, we're gonna try to set up a GoldenEye stream where we get everybody in. I know, Alex Martin. He was very adamant about playing yesterday, and I was just like, dude, I can't. I'm working. I told him
I
to
wish
hit
I
you
could
up.
play,
You were
but
busy too.
I'm still not set up for that.
Yeah, but Sunday we'll make sure it happens.
I made Joe you guys just to hang out.
Thursday, I think I'm going to convince Tom Pino to go live on my personal channel and do an actual last stream if it's really going to be his last stream, which it won't be. I'm going to tell you right now. Tom P will come back. He'll join other people's streams. I think he just wants to stop wasting his time making content and making sure he puts out regular streams. I just think YouTube has fucked him too many times, and I get it too, right? Because Tom P, he never lied about it, man. He wants to make money. Yeah. And they won't monetize the channel, right? They won't even give him a reason why his channel got demonetized. He didn't get partner suspended, right? He got monetized. He got one video removed that was posted before he was demonetized. Then he won an appeal on something else, and they still just said, "Oh, they give him some generic response."
Yeah.
Right. So and you're not going to put him in the recommendations. I showed you the chart earlier, like. He's not in anybody's recommended videos anymore. It used to be 50% of his views. Now it's like 10. Not even that. It's more like 3. So I get it. I get why somebody like Tom would just say, yeah, what I'm trying to do news from my personal perspective. And my personal perspective is now YouTube blacklisted. So.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of the point of all this stuff. Like, mainstream media, like their views, they might get like 2 million people watching if they're lucky anymore. Mm-hmm. We think that we're all so small, but together we are fucking dominating them. Like I can't really say a whole lot because I get like Sinrise and I get like maybe 43 fucking views on a 2 or 3 hour stream. But when you add people in like Sticks and you add in people like all the big guys, they're just fucking dominating them, and that's why they come out with hit piece after hit piece. That's why they smash small channels like the ones that we have.
Yep.
Yeah, because you have to get a certain level of big before you even have a contact at YouTube that you can talk to.
10,000 subs.
You should check out the Dirty Smear Merchants speech that Sargon gave, because he basically said the same thing.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And because he's like, I don't need you. I didn't invite you, media. I didn't invite you here. I don't need you here. I got 5 million people who I could talk to anytime. I don't need you.
Which might have been one of the
Dirty
smartest
Smear
things.
Merchants. It
One
was
of the
great.
smartest things Sargon ever said.
Yeah. I mean, this thing was a failure, but that part was right on.
Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. All right,
nice.
Welcome and goodbye. The rewatchability of this stream is really high, and I'll make sure to try to cut out the intro music at the beginning.
And watch Insomnus tomorrow at 7.
Yep, tomorrow night Insomnus at 7. You guys, you want to go ahead and chill out the link? Ryan, you got that?
http://www.youtube.com/insomnist.
How the fuck?
There you
Neffel,
go.
I just gave Neffel a wrench and he comes back.
It's YouTube/C/insomnist. Let me.
Is it /C? I think just
all the
/
channels
insomnist.
have... I got it. I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, no, we got some dead air. No dead air. Oh, there it is. Hell yeah, we don't want dead air gone.
Dead air.
Dead air.
Dead air.
Whoa, Kimusabi.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna have to do-
thank you for tuning in to the Kumite.
I'm gonna have to do my Tom P video soon, I guess.
Yeah, man. Gonna have to do a.
Before he
Wait.
quits
Get,
us.
wait, yeah,
Gotta
wait.
do a
Get.
special one
Yeah,
for
hold on. Get his full pronouns. Like it's like Peruvian, silverback, something, pangender gorilla. You gotta be like.
yeah.
That way I can be like, fuck man, you can't go look what I did for you,
gorilla
bro.
of YouTube.
All
Anyway,
right,
guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks everybody for joining in. We'll see you next week right here on Nights of the Coffee Table.